So we're coming to the end of 2020 and starting 2021. Things are going back to normal for a lot of people, but there's still a lot of uncertainty, specifically around forbearances and mortgages. I'm going to explain to you what the difference is between a federally backed and a private lender mortgage and how it affects you when the forbearance is coming to an end. Many people do not realize that all of the federal laws that are currently in place to protect people due to the coronavirus only apply to a certain number of mortgages, not to all the mortgages in the United States. I'm going to explain to you what the differences are and how you can come out of the forbearance without losing your home. My name is Diego Mendez. I'm a bankruptcy, loan modification, foreclosure lawyer here in Miami, Florida. I was around in 2008 for the last crash, and I've seen a lot of the same things going on this time around that were happening back then. I created this channel on YouTube to help people avoid financial ruin that I saw in the last crash. Please subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be making more and more of these videos relating to loan modifications, forbearances, and other types of government assistance relating to mortgages. So as I explained, we are entering into a time of uncertainty. The end of the forbearance periods brings a lot of stress for people because we're not sure what's going to happen at the end. I can explain to you what certain types of mortgage companies are going to do at the end of the forbearance and what other types of mortgage companies are going to do. But you need to understand one thing. As a lot of people have realized, we are living in two Americas. Now, I'm not talking blue state, red state, or anything related to that kind of political talk. What I'm talking about is that there are two types of mortgages in the United States. There are federally backed and private lender mortgages. Depending on what kind of mortgage you have is what's going to happen with you at the end of the forbearance period. The people who have federally backed mortgages are going to have a much easier time dealing with the end of the forbearance than people who have non-federally backed private lender type mortgages. I'm going to explain to you the difference right now so you understand where you are in the spectrum of mortgages and how you can use this information to your benefit. Now, the biggest difference between federally backed and non-federally backed private lenders are that the federally backed obviously are guaranteed by the government, and the government can control what these lenders do. The only federally backed mortgages that exist in the United States are FHA, VA, USDA, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac. You don't necessarily get a bill from these companies or these entities. You will get a bill from another servicing company that services these loans, but these are the ones that are federally backed. You know if you have a federally backed mortgage. They've already reached out to you, they've already explained your options, they've told you the different things you can do. The biggest thing with these type of mortgages for you to understand when the forbearances end, that there's no lump sum requirement. You're not required to come up with 10 or 12 or 15 or 18 months of back payments in one lump sum. That's the biggest benefit. I've done other videos which I explain the different options for these type of mortgages when you come out. I'm going to put the link up there. You can link to the other video and watch them if you have this type of mortgage. But the biggest thing you need to understand is that this type of mortgage does not require a lump sum. That's the biggest benefit and the thing that you have that on your side when you're dealing with this type of mortgage. Now, the problem is that 40% of the United States has something called a private lender mortgage. These type of lenders, I'm not saying they're all bad, and I'm not making any generalizations in terms of what they're doing, because I'm not sure exactly what each one of them will do into the future. The biggest difference between these lenders and the ones I mentioned before is that these lenders are not covered by the CARES Act, nor are they covered by any of the other coronavirus-related legislation and presidential executive orders that have been signed. These lenders can do whatever they want with their customers. If you do not pay them, they are able to ask for whatever terms you agreed to when you signed the mortgage. That means these lenders can ask you for a lump sum or short, fast repayments when you come out of forbearance. It's very, very important that when you come out of the forbearance and you have any of these lenders and others, that you're very clear with them as to what you can do, and hopefully they have some option for you to pay back what you owe, either in a short term or at the back end, or some other form of assistance for you. Remember, private lenders are not covered by the CARES Act. You have limited protections when you're dealing with a private lender. A private lender can ask for a lump sum at the end of the forbearance. So when you enter into a forbearance, make sure that you understand what the lender expects from you at the end. It feels really nice to not have to pay mortgage for 3 or 4 months or 6 months, but it feels really bad to have to come up with $12,000 or $20,000 in a lump sum at the end. A lot of times, the consumer finds themselves in a foreclosure situation at the end of the forbearance because they cannot come up with a lump sum or the short repayment of 6 months or 1 year even for the amount of money that they didn't pay during the forbearance period. Be sure that if you do not have a federally backed mortgage, which are the ones that I listed in this document here, these companies have their own rules. I'm not saying that they're going to foreclose immediately. I'm sure they're doing something for their customers, but they are not bound by any other legislation or the executive orders that are currently being considered or signed by this administration or the previous administration. So make sure that if you have Fannie Mac, Quicken Loans, Homebridge, and any of the other ones that are out there, that you're talking to them constantly and that everything that they send you, you're paying attention to. Because you do not want a surprise bill of $25,000 at the end of your forbearance, because if you couldn't come up with it for the year that you were in forbearance, it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to come up with it at the end. So be very, very careful with these lenders. Be sure to communicate with your lender. Be sure to call them and ask them, what can I do at the end of the forbearance? What do you expect from me? It's very important that you communicate with them. There are options like loan modifications and some other options that you might want to consider if you're unable to come up with a lump sum that these lenders might require you to come up with. Be sure that you understand what they're offering. Be sure that you apply for whatever assistance they have. Pay attention to what they send you in the mail. And be very, very vigilant. Do not trust your instincts. Do not trust the things that you hear on television or that people tell you over the phone. Only read what they mail to you and pay attention to that. If you do not understand what they're sending you, speak to somebody who does, either an attorney or somebody who deals with this type of thing. Ask them to help you interpret what it is that they're offering you. Do not make the mistake of signing something that will then turn into a big problem for you. A lot of people are going to lose their homes because of this. So be very, very vigilant and be very careful. My name is Diego Mendez. I'm a bankruptcy and loan modification and foreclosure lawyer here in Miami, Florida. I've helped thousands of people with these type of issues throughout the years. I was around in the last crash. I was representing debtors and people in foreclosure at that time, and I'm still doing it now. I'm helping people right now. It's getting very, very busy for us, but we are still helping people with this type of issue. I'm going to keep making these type of videos so that people understand their options and their legal rights in these situations. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and I'll keep making videos so that everybody's informed and we all come out of this coronavirus mess together with our homes and hopefully with our sanity and our financial situation in order. Thank you very much.